Oh. सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ओम शांति शांति शांति। ओम श्री गणेशाय नमः। ओम श्री सरस्वत्यै नमः। ओम श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पाद शङ्करं लोकशङ्करं समस्तजनकल्याणे निरतं करुणामयं नमामि चिन्मयं देवं सद्गुरुं ब्रह्मविद्वरं मूकं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे परमानंदमाधवम। Hari Om. So in the last session, we saw Chinmay Mission Pledge, the extempore rendition of Pujya Gurudev, giving the entire vision of Chinmay Mission. And we also saw different grassroots level activities which are there in Chinmay Mission, starting from Shishu Vihar, Bal Vihar, Yuva Kendra, Study Group, Devi Groups, Vanaprastha Samsthan. So for Setukari, for every single age group there is something. This is the speciality of Chinmay Mission. Now when you see from that angle that it's an organization which is run by people for the people. It is not that one person is running the whole organization, and never Gurudev wanted anything like that. Last time also I was telling that is the peculiarity of Chinmay Mission as a spiritual organization, that it is not person specific. We'll come to that point later today also, what Gurudev did for that. But that's the beauty. So for every single individual of any age, any nationality, any background, any gender, there is something spiritual that we are offering, and everything is based on our scriptures. Now keeping the scriptures as the foundation, Pujya Gurudev expanded into so many new avenues which those type spiritual leaders had never even imagined. We saw one aspect of that as Jnana Yajnas, where he used to give free talks to every single person. Anybody can come, walk in and sit and listen to Bhagavad Gita talks, Upanishad talks, etc. Then through these planned activities of grassroots level activities, he also made sure that the person who is conducting those activities also, grow spiritually. So if you want to become a sevak, you have to study. Last time I was telling how difficult it is to take a Balvihar class. Even now, even today you see, whenever there is a Balvihar camp, etc. happening here, you will see the type of questions that they are asking and the type of preparation that we need to have to give them answers is enormous. So it's a field for the sevaks to grow. At the same time, there are so many people attending the classes who are getting benefited out of it. And all this is based on scriptures. But Pujya Gurudev, how could he do this? How could he think about every single person in the whole world? That is because he was like that. He was a child among children. You can see some pictures here. He used to tell such stories in such a way to children that they will just laugh and laugh and laugh. Even now you can go to YouTube and story time with Swami Chinmayananda, you find out. Gurudev is telling them, that simple story of rat going to the Rishi and saying that I am frightened of the cat. Therefore, the Rishi makes him cat. Then he is now frightened of dog. Then Rishi makes him lion. Then he is frightened of other. Like that the story goes. And so children are sitting in front and you should just see how he interacts with children. Here one example you can see that center picture and you look down. He is covering himself with the dhoti and acting in front of children. This is also another story session. The leftmost is a letter. That is another uniqueness of Gurudev, that he was a very funny by nature. He didn't try to be funny. He was like that. So one small boy, so two brothers actually, Dilip and Deepak, they wrote to Pujya Gurudev, small children, saying that we are learning drawing. So Gurudev, in reply to that, writes this letter: draw as below in stages of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And what are the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? And what will you come across? The back of an elephant. That is the back of an elephant. So he used to draw pictures and send it to children, saying that you draw like this. So many such things. With children, no, you have to be like a child. You can't suddenly be very serious. And I am going to tell you one story. Once upon a time, there was a king. His name was Shri Ram. Very important. What? Shri Ram. Will you remember? Repeat 3 times. Shri Ram. That way children don't want to listen and they won't understand anything. With children, you have to be like that. Now, we have been seeing, short clips of Pujya Gurudev in every session. Therefore, we know by now how active and dynamic he was on stage. Now you imagine if there is no stage and he is sitting with children. Now you can imagine what must have happened. He used to be totally friendly with them, but at the same time reminding them of our culture, giving them values which they can follow. So with children, he was like a child. But with youngsters, he was like a young man. He used to have, you go to so many places and so many Swamis will talk to you. Even our head of the Chinmay mission, Swami Swarupananji, will also tell so many stories of when he was a Yuva Kendra member and how Gurudev used to, help them. One famous story that he always tells is, so Gurudev had gone to their center and all youngsters used to attend all the classes, and then wherever Gurudev will go for Bhiksha, these youngsters also will come because they will also love to have youngsters, Only Swamiji coming is not a good idea, and elders coming is not at all a good idea because you know what happens. They will keep talking about something else, but youngsters will always be around Swamiji and some satsang, some fun, something will happen. So they used to call. Now one day before Gurudev was to leave, Gurudev was to go to the next center. Previous evening, all these youngsters after Bhiksha, they were feeling very uneasy that now Gurudev will go over. Now next year only we will get to meet him. So Gurudev went to the place where he was staying, and these youngsters, they went somewhere. Okay. And they did not return home. So all the elders were panicked first, started calling each other and, asked them what. So somebody told them that all these youngsters have gone for partying. Okay. And now Swamiji must know this. So all those elders, when next day morning Swamiji, Gurudev was to leave. So he is going to airport. So outside the airport, this small committee is standing to tell Swamiji what your youngsters did. So they told when Gurudev arrived, and all these youngsters were back there to see off Pujya Gurudev. Gurudev didn't ask anything. Okay. What happened? Nothing. He just walked off. When they came, he smiled. And then one person, because by that time everybody came to know that our parents called other parents and together formed a committee, and now they are going to complain to Gurudev, etc., etc. So one of them told the whole story that actually Gurudev, what happened, there is a hill very close by. So we all went there because we could not bear that thought that you are going now. And 6-7 days you have been here, you have taught us Upanishad. And so we were thinking about those things. He said, I have no doubt my children can never go to do wrong things. after listening to my talks. Then he looked at them and he said, don't go to peaks to meditate. Reach peaks in meditation. See, they went there to meditate, went on the peak of the hill, whatever. Youngsters, Gurudev had enormous faith. But that automatically becomes responsibility of youngsters also. If somebody is having faith in you, then you have to follow and do it. Why? Why it happened? Around 100 years back, before Pujya Gurudev, there was another saint who had enormous faith in youngsters. Can you name? Swami Vivekananda. Very well known saint. He said at that time, give me 100 youngsters and I will change the face of the country. Swami Vivekananda said in 19th century beginning. Gurudev made it true. He had a vision of creating 100 Vivekanandas. Gurudev said that if the work has to progress, if the spirituality has to come to everybody's house, everybody's life, we have to create pracharakas. We have to create sadhus. Now remember all the hardship that Gurudev went through to study. We have seen how he used to stay there, in what kind of climatic situation, and under such a strict master, Swami Tapobanji Maharaj. Now Gurudev never wanted other people to go through all that, because he said that everybody may not be able to do that. Leave everything, go to the Himalayas and study. Everybody may not be able to do that. So what did he do? He decided that he will establish Sandipani Gurukulas. And that's how in 1960 actually we have our first ashram, where now Central Chinmay Mission Trust is there. So our ashram in Powai, Sandipani Sadhanalaya, that is the first ashram established by Chinmay Mission. First temple also is there. And in 1963, the first Gurukula started. This is not a picture of first Gurukula, we will come to that. But this was his idea, that I want to create 100 Vivekanandas. And from the first course, so the earlier courses were little longer. First course was 5-year course, because Gurudev was the teacher and Gurudev used to travel. So whenever he is in India, these students will travel with him to different centers and listen. And other times he will be in Sandipani, in Powai ashram, teaching these young brahmacharis and brahmacharinis. So this was the idea that Gurudev had, that we should have Sandipani Gurukulas. Then slowly that 5-year course became 2.5-year course. Now it is 2-year course. It is a residential Vedanta course, where there is a syllabus that is followed, and every single brahmachari or brahmacharini coming out of it will have to go through the whole thing. All the brahmacharins or swamis that you see now have gone through this course. And the full day is packed. Normal day of Sandipani is also 5:30 there will be Vedic chanting. Then 7 o'clock will be Vedanta session. Then after breakfast there will be Sanskrit class. Then there will be chanting session, Vishnu Sahasranam, etc. will be taught. Then after lunch, little rest. Then again Vedanta session will be there. Then Narayan Seva will be there. Everybody will be allotted different duties that they have to do in the ashram. They have to do that. And then in the evening Satsang will be there, either on Ramayana or Bhagavat, etc., etc., or some stotras. And in all these 2 years, the students studying in Sandipani Gurukulas, they don't go out. They are in the ashram, no newspaper, no TV, no laptop, no mobile. But it's a wonderful life, superb life. The only thing that we do is go there, attend class, come back to room, study, again go there, attend class, again come back to room and study. But because of this rigorous training, what we learn in 2 years is equivalent to 12-13 years of otherwise. So his idea was that. And that's how he started this Sandipani Gurukulas. So the picture that you see now is the picture of, if I am not wrong, 5th batch of Vedanta course. Yeah. Somehow, can you recognize few people? Yeah, Gurudev, of course, center. Guruji is sitting next to him. Tejomayananji is there on his right side, Gurudev's right side. Left side is Purushottam Anandji. Behind Gurudev is Swamini Vimlananji. Now Swamini Vimlananji, at that time Brahmacharini. Second from this side is Swarupananji. Can you see that? Young Brahmachari. So this is the first batch that Guruji took in Sandipani Sadhanalaya Powai. And then it grew. So Sandipani Gurukulas are not only in Powai. So Powai, the course happens in English. So 1963, the courses started. Today, 2021, 18th course is going on. Regularly the courses happen. There will be now 2 years course, then 1 year gap will be there, then again 2 years course, then again 1 year gap, then again 2 years course. Like that continuously courses are happening. Now presently 18th course is going on. This is in English. Then Gurudev also wanted to start regional language courses. These residential courses in regional languages also. So first of that was started in Sandipani Himalayas in Siddhabari Ashram by Guruji. Swami Tejomayananji, he took the first batch in Hindi in 1980. This was in 1963. Then in the regional languages also it started. We have Chinmayaranyam in Andhra Pradesh where Telugu courses are going on. We have Sandipani here also now. Malayalam course just got over. Before that also it used to happen in Kerala. Then in Chinmaya Gardens, Coimbatore, we have Tamil English Vedanta course. Earlier it was Tamil course, now it is Tamil English Vedanta course. There also regularly courses are happening. Swami Advayananji has taught there before. Sampratishna Amma has taught there before. So many people have been. Atmaji has taken a course in Malayalam 20 years back. In Marathi we have in Kolhapur Ashram, Swami Purushottomananji took a course in Marathi. So this way in regional languages also these courses continued. And these are some of the pictures. The first picture that you see on the left is the first batch of Vedanta course. So Gurudev was the main Acharya at that time. The one sitting on the right side of Gurudev is Swamini Gangananji. She is there in now Powai Ashram. Many people might have met her. She is the only one now from that first batch. On the left side, Amma who is sitting is Sharda Priyananji, very well-known Swamini Amma from Andhra. She is the one who started the courses in Telugu. Left side behind is Purushottomananji, then Jyotirmayananji also is there on the right side behind. So that is the first batch of Vedanta course. Then here down you see there might be some known faces, but you may not be able to recognize. Can you see all the whites and Gurudev sitting in between? That is the 8th batch of Vedanta course. You know one person from there for sure. Swami Advayananji, not me. I was not there when Gurudev was. I was not that. Swami Advayananji is there. The last person in that picture is Swami Advayananji. Amma sitting down is Aradhana Amma. So many people that you might know. Then the picture here is the second batch that Guruji took in Sandipani Powai. Here also Apurvananji is there. You may know her, Apurva Amma. Just first lady from the bottom. So many other people that we know. So this way the entire legacy started by Pujya Gurudev, and his idea was very clear that it has to be a very rigorous training, and it still continues to be. We study around 40 to 50 Prakarana Granthas of Shankaracharya ji, Ramana Maharshi and other great masters. We study entire Bhagavad Gita. We study 10 or 11 Upanishads, most of them with Shankar Bhashya, Brahma Sutra, Chatussutri, first 4 sutras of Brahma Sutra, so many other compositions of Guruji and other people. So it's a very rigorous training that goes on, and then these people still have freedom to decide whether they want to continue to do prachar. If they decide, then they will be given Brahmacharya Diksha, and then they will be sent to different centers, and there they will propagate this Vedantic knowledge. If they decide, no, I want to go back to the old life, they can very well go back to the old life. There are many other ashrams, not of Chinmaya Mission, but other organizations from where the students come to study in our Sandipani, because as I told you, in 2 years, such a structured way of teaching is not there in many places. So many other organizations also send their students to Sandipani, where they learn and then they go back to their own organization and do prachar there. So the legacy continues. Even now the courses are going on. Now this is 15th batch of Vedanta course. Here I will be there. Swami Advayananji also was the main acharya. So we have Guruji, Brahmananji, Swamiji, and so this is the photo of all those who have taken Diksha. So that's what I wanted to connect to. So all the people who complete the course do not take Diksha. Some take Diksha in yellow, some remain in white, but become full-time sevaks. So all of them, and the legacy continues. They all will be given different centers. They go and they continue their seva. That is the way that they will grow, and that is the way that the prachar also will happen. Yeah, Devaki Amma is also there. I hope you recognized. You recognize Devaki Amma, right? Huh? Sudhirji is not there in the picture. He was the one working behind, must be there. And now we have so many centers, so many acharyas, so many Swamins, Brahmacharins. This is the picture taken in 2013, which was 50th year of Sandipani. This was the time when our course was going on. So all those who studied in Sandipani had come together, and we have so many Brahmacharins, Swamins, in orange, yellow, white, who are serving full time for Chinmaya Mission. This is the golden jubilee celebrations of Sandipani. And one thing that is always in our mind is, how can Gurudev inspire so many people? Because you see what happens, one inspired person can create miracles. So Gurudev developed people, and these inspired people will in turn change the entire history. Right? So that was Gurudev's idea, and Gurudev always used to say that Vedanta is a serious thing, but should never be taught seriously, in the sense that the classes should not be boring, where listener will say that no, this is very serious, okay, so come like this and seriously you say, no, it should be, it is a serious subject and it should be taught sincerely, but doesn't mean that you have to make the classes boring. And knowing Gurudev, we all know how much he used to love, humor. Somebody asked once that how can you tell jokes in Upanishad class? Other introductory classes, etc., we can understand that to create interest in people, you tell jokes. In Upanishad class, so Gurudev smiled and he said, there is a trick. When I tell a joke, they laugh. When they laugh, they open their mouths. When they open their mouths, I put a Vedantic idea inside. He said that is the trick. And if you really observe, you listen to Gurudev's videos, immediately after a joke, there will be a hard hitting point. It has to come. It has to come. That is the trick. So that's how he could keep these many youngsters inspired. See, you imagine youngster who has completed graduation, leaves everything and joins a course. It is not a simple thing. Must have got inspired by something. These are the people from whom they get inspired. The legacy which was started by Gurudev is now continued because of these many people. You come in contact with them, you get so much inspired that you want to live a life like them. And that's how the transformation takes place. So, that oratory that Gurudev had, which was always mixed with humor, is what created such an enormous change. Right? Now, we will see a short video of Puja Gurudev. This is actually in Gurudev's Ashtottar Shatanamavali. One of the names of Puja Gurudev is Vinoda Priyaya Namaha, one who loved humor from somebody also, and he himself loved to do that. So one short clip of explaining how much he loved humor and how master orator he was. Then we will continue with the further points.
A smile for the whole world, just to distribute joy to the world outside, if nothing else for you to give, At least a joy. In Andhra Pradesh, 3 old ladies came to me. After Pada Puja and all that, they both then sat down and started talking to me. And Andhra language, Telugu language is very fast. Even Telugu people cannot understand what the other Telugu man is talking. Very fast. Now I can't understand a word of that language. So I closed my eyes because a Swami can always close the eyes. When they, in utter suffocation, when they stopped for the next breathing, I started Malayalam, which is also. And since they don't understand, I can make any noise, it will be Malayalam. I started talking Malayalam continuously. Another 3 minutes and I opened my eyes. The ladies were not there. I said what I want to say, they said what they want to say, but we never understood each other because of language. So then a foolish man comes there with aggressively. Passivity is not the answer. You also meet them aggressively. When the aggressive good and meets aggressive bad, aggressive good alone wins.
Action is at all times. You can never take a casual leave. You may take it from the office. I am today on leave. Meaning I am not working. Not working in the office. But ask your wife and other members of the family. What an amount of confusion you are creating at home. It is not possible that you are not working. Only the feel of working will change. No, Swami, in the home also I am not working. I am going to lie down in bed. Yes, you are lying down in bed, therefore you are not physically creating any confusion. But while lying down, are you not thinking? Are you not feeling? That's also work. All right, Swami, I am going to sleep. True. Physically you are not working, emotionally you are not working, intellectually you are not working. But in the physical body, work is going on. Are you not breathing? Are you not heart pumping? The circulation going on? The digestion vigorously going on? All these physiological activities are going on. So you are not without action. All right, Swami, I am going to stop those activities also. If you stop those activities also, then you will make us very active. The other day when I was looking at the mirror, I saw that I have been looking starved, unhealthy, and I said, change the mirror. By changing the mirror, will I change? Last 10 years or even 15 years, morality has completely gone in the Western countries, especially in America. Anybody and any time, at any time, only sin alone. That problem cannot be solved by legislation or by changing the constitution, by punishing everybody. You can't punish everyone in a country. It has become a national character. Who can change you? Nature is to change. Nature, the Lord, gave a help to the society, and that is why it is called aid. Just as the World Bank gives you aid for the developing nations, Bhagavan said, I will give you the aid. And once they got the aid, everybody overnight become morally good. Today we say, this is India, otherwise called as Bharat. Why is it called a country called Bharat? Now in the Western countries, when you give a name to anything, there is no particular meaning. Why the name is given? The name itself has no meaning. I was once introduced to Dr. Wolf. So I said, Doctor, I didn't catch your name properly.
He said, "Oh, Swamiji, I am wolf." Now that doesn't mean anything. I don't know now whether he is good doctor or what. Which science I don't know. So I can't initiate any talk with him. So I was thinking, what will I talk to him? How is it that you are wolf, doctor? I asked, because that is the only material I have got to ask him. He looked at me very pityingly, because underdeveloped country cannot understand the So he looked at me very miserably and told me, "Swamiji, my father was a wolf."
Hari Narayana, Hari Narayana, Hari Narayana, Hari Narayana. Gold. Doctor.
That is Gurudev. And this humor is not only in oratory when he is on stage, you know. Once, one person went to Gurudev with Holy Gita that Gurudev has written, and went to him and said that, Swamiji, I have gone through Gita 18 times, because 18 is a very auspicious number, 18 chapters of Gita, 18 parvas in Mahabharata, etc., etc. So 18 number is very auspicious, therefore I have gone through Gita 18 times. Gurudev said, good. And he signed, he went for signature. After signature, when this person took the book back, he opened and he saw there was a message written by Gurudev. You have gone through Gita 18 times. May Gita go through you once. It is humorous, at the same time hard hitting. One person went for signature and said that I am doctor. I am doctor, medical doctor. So Gurudev said, very good. And he wrote, while signing in the message, he wrote that prescription. Read 5 pages daily. If problem still persists, double the dosage. Signed, Dr. Chinmayananda, and gave it back. Swami Mitranji always tells one story that his father had a signed copy of Bhagavad Gita. Gurudev signed and that copy was there. So after many years, Mitranji took this copy saying that this you signed for my father so many years back. So Gurudev also, so below his signature he signed again. Okay, like father, like son, and he signed. Then Mitranji joined the course and he completed the Vedanta course. He took the same copy again to Gurudev to get another signature. So he wrote a message, father missed, son got. Signed, Swami Chinmayananda. That is Gurudev. No time is dull with Gurudev. See, many of us have not even seen him. But we don't feel that we have never met Gurudev. We feel that he is part of our life. We have been with Gurudev only. That was the impact of that man. So many Swamis people must have seen in their life. But anybody who came in contact with Gurudev never forgot Gurudev. The last slide, the last shot in that video is where the Swarna Tulabhara happened in Bangalore. The shooting is from Bangalore, where what they did was that Gurudev was put in one weighing scale, and another scale people donated gold equal to his weight, and that gold is put in fixed, and then now it is given to all the centers for running the activities, because all the works of Chinmay Mission are happening by donation. So that is where he is saying gold and he is distributing that to people. That was Gurudev. He was a master in everything, and that's why Chinmay Mission now has got so many wings. So we'll just see what are all the wings that Chinmay Mission has got even now. Chinmay Vidyalayas. We have over 80 Chinmaya Vidyalayas, schools and colleges. We have CIRS, Chinmay International Residential School in Coimbatore. We have nursing and management institutes. Nursing institute is there in Bangalore. Management, we know. Chintech is there in Kannur. So many such institutes are there. All of them are doing education along with values. We have a separate Chinmay Vision program which is taught to all the children, so that they not only gain the worldly knowledge but also gain spiritual knowledge. And not only students but the teachers also and parents also. Alright. So that with that vision we have so many Chinmay Vidyalayas as part of Chinmay Mission. We of course have Chinmay International Foundation, the research wing of Chinmay Mission is another important wing where research scholars etc. they come do research in Indian knowledge systems and contemporary comparative study. We have so many manuscripts, original manuscripts. We all know about Sif Shodha Samsthan library we have, and official place where people can come and learn and study manuscriptology and go back and practice it. So we have this also, Chinmay International Foundation. We will come in detail about CIF little later, because we have to see so many factors related to that. We have Chinmay Nadabindu, residential Gurukul of Indian Performing Arts, the music wing of Chinmay Mission. We have the Chinmay Nadabindu Gurukula in Chinmay Vibhuti, old one, Pune ashram, where now in few days festival, Nadabindu festival is going to start. Musical wing where Indian performing arts are given more and more importance, so that also grows, because see, all these are part of Indian culture. So for us to grow, it has to be a overall holistic growth. Then only it will create that transformation that we need in our country, right? Then we have Chinmay Vishwavidyapeeth, recently started, deemed to be university, which blends IKT. IKT is Indian knowledge traditions with the CKT, with the contemporary knowledge traditions. Vishwavidyapeeth we all know. We have Chinmay Mission hospitals. In Bangalore we have Chinmay Mission hospital and so many other things, medical, surgical, nursing, care, so many places we have hospitals that are run by Chinmay Mission. We have CORD, C-O-R-D, Chinmay Organization for Rural Development in Siddhabari, in Tamaripakam, in parts of Andhra. This Chinmay, this CORD is running, doing the service, very beautiful organization. Sometimes we should also have somebody from there, explaining us more about this. So in villages, etc., for their development, women empowerment there and child empowerment and all the aspects, financial aspect of them, we are over 500 villages we are taking care of through this CORD. And Kshama Maitreji, Dr. Kshama Maitreji, who is the now director of this CORD, is awarded Padma Shri also. So CORD is a very great organization that is doing lot of social service, especially in villages. That also is one of the wings of Chinmay Mission. Sandipani Gurukulas, we have already seen the residential Vedanta courses that are happening there. We also have so many other courses, short-term courses like Dharma Sevak course, and we have other courses which are happening in our Chinmay Gardens, Coimbatore. We have Purohit course that also happens now in Chinmay Gardens, Coimbatore. And we have of course our home study courses for online study of Sanskrit, Vedanta and related topics. So all these are only to propagate the knowledge through Gurukula method. Then we have Chinmay Mission centers and ashrams and temples. We have over 300 centers of Chinmay Mission in 40 countries. And we have so many ashrams, so many temples are there, and very unique temples. Some of them are Swayambhu temple like we have here, Ayappa Swami. Some of them are Pratishtita temples, and So many beautiful things are happening in all those centers, ashrams, etc., which also is one of the important aspect of Chinmay Mission, because these are the centers from where all the work happens. All the grassroots level activities that we saw, in many places, these Chinmay Mission centers, ashrams are the main hubs. We have sadhana camps, we have youth empowerment programs, such programs are there. For that, ashram setup is required, right? So, for that, all these ashrams, temples, etc. are also there. And of course, we have Chinmay publications, Pujya Gurudev's wisdom and the knowledge that he has brought to us is available now. Over 550 titles are there under Chinmay Mission CCMT publications. We have more than 150 media items. Apart from CCMT, in CIF itself, we have publication and media department, which is generating both digital content as well as book content, right? So, in all these different avenues, Chinmay Mission is there. Sometimes we live in a very closed environment, we live in a center, we live in one ashram, not understanding how vast is our family. So, Chinmay family is this vast. We have Vidyalayas, we have Gurukulas, we have research wing, we have music wing, and so many such facets are there, so many centers are there. You go to any city, there will be some Chinmay Mission center or ashram will be there, whom you can go and meet and visit, So, this is the vast Chinmay family that we are part of, and we are absolutely proud of belonging to that culture, belonging to that tradition, right? So, all these things started with that one thought of Gurudev. Remember when he was sitting in Gangotri and thinking that, let me take this knowledge to the plains, right? And see what it has happened today. Many times, many organizations, what happens, one person comes and does great work, but after that person, there is nobody to continue that great work. Many organizations, it happens like that. That never happens with organizations like Chinmay Mission, because it is not person specific. That's the point that I was trying to make earlier also, that the base is the knowledge of Vedanta. The base is scriptures. So, scriptures is what we teach. Who is teaching is not important, right? And therefore, we have so many Swamins and so many Brahmacharyans in so many different ways they are teaching. Why? Because the base is still same, the scriptures, right? And therefore, even after Gurudev, all these things have grown. CIRS was a vision of Gurudev. Chinmay Vishwavidyapit was vision of Gurudev. But Gurudev, when he was there physically, he never saw it happening. But after him, CIRS is now, top ranked residential school in India. CIF has, given rise to another great thing, that is Chinmay Vishwavidyapit. So, when Gurudev started something with that vision, the next generations, they continue that vision and continue the work. And that's how Chinmay Mission grows. So, as part of Chinmay family, first responsibility to understand the vision, and second responsibility is to work for, fulfilling that vision that Gurudev had. Motto is still same, maximum happiness to maximum for maximum amount of time, and that is never achieved, I told you. And that is the reason why we have to keep growing and keep reaching to many more people, right? So, this is what Chinmay Mission is in a very simple and concise way. There is a lot other things that I can tell, but for now we will stop here. In the next session, which will be our last session of this Chinmay Parichay series, we will conclude with few aspects of Pujya Gurudev, and we will see a very short, 17-minute clip of made on Pujya Gurudev. That also is very beautiful clip that we will see in the next session, and we will conclude. Right. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.